guys done something that very few people do. I mean, you decided to invite me to your house. You don't even know me. You've only known this young man for a short time. And if I compare him with you, his age is a very young man, and sometimes you may not talk at the same level. But you listen to him and accepted us in your home. This is a great honor. And it's not, God will reward you someday. So I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start from my introduction. Nianze na wapi na niende wapi. Lakini I am a child of this place. My home is, my father's home is in Ahero, or just around the Kondo area. And I grew up here. Actually, went to school in Mbaka Primary School, which is a school just around the village there. My mother was a vegetable vendor, and she, come in, karibu. And yeah, she did that, and that is the way she educated me to go to secondary school and high school. My father was a fishmonger, called George Chambers. My father was the same of a little game na baskeli hapa, na hata huko alikuwa anakuja mpaka Chemeleo wakati mwingine aliaga. So now that is basically my life history. So with God's grace, I was able to go to the United States. Come in. I was able to go to the United States, and I've lived there for 12 years. I'm now a professor of pharmacology. Professionally, what I do research on how to make medicine. The medicine that all of you use here. We are the people where I am. We do research that can bring ideas that make medicine, and I've done that myself. Matter of fact, if you guys have internet and you just Google Barack Obama, it will pull all the science that I've done. And just to give you an example, I have what is called patent. I don't know whether you know patent. If you discover something, then you want to protect it. You want nobody else to own it. You want to own it. So I have some patents on treatment of asthma. If you have a drug for treating asthma, and I have also a patent for a drug that treats cancer. God has been faithful. He has enabled me to get that opportunity, and I want to tell you that opportunity came because somebody else helped me. My education was almost over at standard 7. I did my primary school in Mbaka and passed very well, but my father was not able to take both of us to school, so I was told to go back and repeat, while my elder brother to go to secondary school. So I refused to repeat. And those days I remember what my father used. My father had a lot of kids, the ladies, the women kids, but we were only 3 boys. But what he used to say is that I don't struggle with a man like me. So if a man like me says I'm not going to school anymore, sit down, go and look after the cattle. So that's what he told me. But there was a teacher called Henry Jumabuao. He comes from Kano area. One evening, I can remember that day very well, he came paddling his bicycle, and he came and asked me if I could go back to school to repeat. And I said, I'm not going to repeat. If I've already done this level, what am I going back to repeat for? So I cannot repeat it unless I'm assured of where to get money. So he said, I will fill for you the forms of Tare Boys Center. And he did that for me, and that is the way I got my education. That is the way. If Jumabuao had not come to my home, trust me, I think I would be a fisherman in Lake Victoria by now. So Jumabwao invested in my life. He gave me an opportunity. And that opportunity did not end with him, because I have also now helped so many other kids, both here and overseas. I've helped a lot of Kenyans overseas. When I went to the university where I am now, there was no single Kenyan. And right now we have 5 PhDs given full scholarship through what I've done there. And it's not just me, it is because of what Jumabwao did. And that is the reason why I'm here. I believe in an individual effort. You as a person, you are a person. You have ability. You can create opportunities for other people. Most of the time what we hear and what people talk about is that you don't have money, you can't do it. Or your family is not known, you're nobody. Okay? And so people want to see the status quo. They want us to remain the way we are. And yet when you look at the world, there's a lot of possibilities. And so for me, there are a lot of things that I've done in my life, socially and academically. But every time in the United States, I have tried and I've tried. Everywhere I've gone, I've talked with major companies, sugar companies. I've talked with, and for me, these days, I don't see, when I see something, I don't limit myself. I go forward and approach the relevant people. And so in the United States, I've knocked doors. I've knocked doors of major companies. I've knocked doors of doctors. I've knocked every door. But at the end of the day, they ask you one question. Who are you there? And if we invest there, can you protect our investment? People have money. In the outside world, people have money. They want to put that money to work so that they can get profit. But their concern is, if we invest in Kisumu, who is going to protect? And then one thing that you have realized, I think I'm diverting a little bit because I'm seeing the people I'm talking to here. Okay. In the Western world, when you talk about Africa, what they have is the negativity of Africa. That if I go and plant my factory there, then the villagers are going to come and take it over, or fire it, or burn it down. Okay. So I've taken a responsibility to change that with the people that I know and the people that I come into contact with. I will give you an example. I went to the university that I have, which is called Florida A&M University, and they did not want to hear anything about Africa or Kenya. They didn't want to hear. But as I continued to talk to them, they actually ended up adopting Ramogi Institute of Technology as a component of as a branch of our university. And not only that, they have invited Raila Amolo Odinga there more than 2 times, and probably it's going to be the 3rd time, because I sold the idea and I continued selling the idea. Now their impression of Kenya is changing. Now let's look at our country. Let's look outside here. If you look at, just when I was coming here, I look at the sugarcane plantation. People have struggled. People have worked hard for this sugarcane plantation. But now it is drying. It's drying outside there because of lack of water. And it is drying because of lack of water. And yet, this place is not very far from Lake Victoria. If you go to Israel, right now as we speak, there is the River Nile. The River Nile that comes from Lake Victoria here passes through Israel. Israel is a dry country. There is no rain there. But they are tapping what? River Nile, and they are producing more food and exporting. And so, when you look at our area, Nobody should tell you that technology is lacking. All of you sitting here are brainy people. You have done so many great things. That is not lacking. People are not lacking either. Because if you go to the marketplace here, you will find a lot of young youth without jobs. Resources are not lacking. Because if you talk of water, the water table here, even if you dig down here, it's not very far. And Lake Victoria is just here. River Nyando is just passing here. But our crops are drying up. The message is it's the responsibility of the government to take care of the people.